Hi, my name's Christina. I have never done this before, but we're going to give it a try. I love gymnastics. I am absolutely a nerd level fan of women's gymnastics, elite in particular, and I often talk people's ears off about it, especially when there are big events like the upcoming Olympics and all the competitions leading up to that. And I love using Microsoft Excel. I like ranking items in order, making lists, categorizing things. And so when it comes to gymnastics, I am in my element. So today I want to go ahead and share some predictions for tonight, the second and last night of Olympic trials for the women's gymnastics team for the USA. Let's go. So, for those who don't know how gymnastics works, here's a basic overview. In the women's gymnastics at the Olympics, 5 gymnasts are on the team. And out of those 5, in the qualifications round, 4 of them compete. This skips over that part, but in the qualifications round, 4 gymnasts get to compete on the vault, 4 get to compete on bars, and then on beam and on floor. Out of those 4 that competed, the top 3 scores on each apparatus get added together to the total, and that determines which 8 of the 12 teams in qualifications get to move on to the finals. In the team finals, then you have what's called 3 up, 3 count. 3 gymnasts on vault, all 3 scores count. You can't drop a score, so you don't really want to have a weaker scoring gymnast on there. Same with bars, beam, floor. Where you start is determined by how you qualified, and after the competition is over, top score for each team. The scores are added up together, and obviously you've got your first, second, third place, gold, silver, and bronze. So, at the Olympic trials tonight, this is the Washington Post team builder page. I've used it a few times, although I did go through and find on the Gymternet, the gymter.net, I went ahead and looked up all the competitions that the gymnasts have been in and went ahead and wrote down all of their scores and added them up and got averages. But this is pretty accurate. So basically, the gymnasts you're thinking between are Simone Biles, Sunisa Lee, Jade Carey. Unfortunately, Shilese Jones is out of the competition, and I am absolutely devastated about that. She hurt her knee on night 1 and pulled out of the competition. I hope she takes care of herself and heals as fast as possible. I really hope she can heal in time to be on Simone Biles' tour in the fall, because I really, really want to see her. Jordan Chiles is in the mix. Leanne Wong is one that we'll talk about. You've got Jocelyn Robertson, Kalia Lincoln, Hesley Rivera, and there's a few others like Tiana Simonasakara or Simonasakra. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. I've heard it different ways, but the broadcasters aren't always the best at pronouncing names right. And who else was in the mix? I said Hesley Rivera. Yeah. Kayla DiCello was in the mix, but she's been taken out of here. They've updated it because she hurt her Achilles on Friday night, on night 1, which is also a real bummer. So, anyways, those are the main gymnasts in contention, and pretty much guaranteed. And oh my goodness, I really, really hope that there are no injuries tonight. I need everybody to be healthy and compete well and not get hurt tonight. It just has to happen. But basically the top picks right now are Simone Biles, Sunisa Lee, and Jordan Chiles. My picks for the team are 4th person is Jade Carey, 5th person is Hesley Rivera. Most people are agreeing Jade is almost definitely on the team, but then there's a bit of, shall we say, debate going on in the whole internet about whether it should be Kalia Lincoln, Hesley Rivera, Leanne Wong, or Tiana Sumana-Sakara, or Jocelyn Robertson to be in that fifth spot. So that's kind of where the debate is happening. And I want to show you my Excel sheet and show you the scores that I put together and why I think Hesley fits the team the best. Okay, so this is my lovely spreadsheet. I told you, I love Excel. I went ahead and wrote down average of their recent scores before trials even started. I also, from my list and the New York Times Team Builder, went ahead and wrote down their best scores in this calendar year, 2024. And just yesterday, I added their scores from night one of trials. Down here, these are the averages. These are their average scores, and I didn't do a straight adding because best scores, in my opinion, don't hold the most weight. So I went ahead and did their recent scores plus the trials to get like an average. And then I did the average of that and their trial scores and their best scores. I did it the other way also, just adding up all three recent best trials. It was like a tenth or 2/10 difference for everybody, but it was like equal difference. So we're just using this. So here are my thoughts about the team. I said Simone, Sunisa, Jordan, they're pretty much locks. Knock on wood. And if you have them, they will each be doing the all-around. Remember I said there's 4 up, 3 count in the qualifications. Well, to attempt to qualify for all-around, they have to go ahead and compete all 4 events in the qualifications. That means even though Sunisa has a lower score on vaults and floor than some of the others, she would still compete because she's trying to get a spot in the all-around. Same thing for Jordan Childs having that lower score on beam. She'd still compete in the all-around to go ahead and try to get a spot in the all-around. Simone is almost definitely going to make it. I'm very, very torn. I'd love to see Jordan make it to the all-around, but I'd also love to see Suni make it back to the all-around. She is the reigning all-around champion, and she's been battling 2 different kinds of kidney diseases, and it's been a couple of years for her of hard work getting back to the place that she is now. And yeah, I'm torn. I'll be happy with either one. Then you've got almost definitely our 4th person, Jade Carey. She has 2 vaults. She can make it to the vault finals. Her floor is pretty good. Bars and beams, decent. Mid-13s are a decent score. High 13s, 14s are more like good scores. But they're not horrible. A 12 really isn't what you want to put up in a team final or even a qualifications. So then, in the qualifications, she'd do the vault. She might do the floor. You've got 4 people doing the vault. That means you don't need to look at the vault scores for anybody else. It doesn't matter. Now, if one of these 4 goes down with an injury, heaven forbid, please no. It's not happening. I refuse to even think about it anymore. But if they do, you would want someone who could do a decent vault, and all of these can. So it's a non-issue. A lot of people are saying Leanne Wong should be in the 5th position because she has upgraded her vault. I think her vault's a little bit sloppy, but even so, it's still under what Jordan Childs could do. So she wouldn't be used in the team final. We would use Simone, Jordan, and Jade in the team final. 3 up, 3 count. No wiggle room. On bars, we need a fourth person to do qualifications. However, we don't really worry about that score too much because our top 3 scores out of all the possibilities are these 3. They'd be doing the team. So yes, we'd like to have a high scoring bars person, but even if we didn't have a high scoring bars person like Tiana, for example, or Kalia or Joss, or if Jade had to do bars with her mid 13 score, it wouldn't be the end of the world. We'd still like higher, but in the team finals, these are the ones who we'd predict to do it. However, in beam is what we really need because Simone and Suni have the highest scores. They're the ones who are definitely going to be in the team final. Jordan and Jade have mid 13s. Again, it's not horrible, but it's not ideal, especially for a team final. We want to maximize all possible points. And then on floor, Jade is pretty comparable to the others. If you had Kalia, she would do floor over Jade in the qualifications, and because Jordan would definitely be doing it to try to qualify for all around. So that means Kalia would do it instead of Jade, and I love Kalia's floor. Problem is, even though we'd use her for the team final probably, you could use her vault if you needed it. You really couldn't use her beam or bars. And that's kind of where we're looking. We need that extra person to be really good on beam and bars. And that's why Kalia is not really an option for me. So looking at the beam and bars, you see Hesley is my top contender. She has scores above all the others in bars and beam. She could fit that puzzle piece really, really easily. And that's kind of, she's my pick. She wouldn't do bars in the team final because there's others who can score higher than her, but she could compete in the team final on beam and contribute there. She wouldn't have the best floor to pop in for somebody, but these two 13.9s are not shabby at all. Suni could do a floor in a clutch situation if one of these couldn't. A 13.3 is not the end of the world. It's not desirable, though. 13.8's not bad at all for vault if we needed her in that position. A lot of people, again, are saying Leanne Wong. I just don't see it. She'd be a good addition to bars, but she wouldn't be used in the team final. We got 3 who are much stronger than her, and she doesn't add anything to the beam lineup. And she doesn't add anything potentially with floor. She really only adds with vault and bars based on who we have in our evolving team. And yeah, I just don't see that spot going to her. Tiana, love her. Love her floor. Absolutely would love to see her floor. But the thing is, with her consistently scoring lower than Jade, I feel like they'd put Jade on floor over Tiana, so she wouldn't even do floor. Remember, you only need 4 people on each apparatus for the qualifications. Then she could do great beam. We need beam, absolutely. We would not want to have to use that 12.8. However, Jade's 13.5, again, not the end of the world. She could step in. She's been very consistent with it. She doesn't have the best bars, but they're not shabby. Like, they're okay. So, don't think Leanne could really fit the puzzle. Tiana with her high bars, beam, definitely could. Even though we really, really would not want her bars score. But again, people are like, oh no, we'd have to put Jade up on bars. And my answer to that is, that wouldn't be the end of the world, I think. We'll see. And then Joss is kind of same position as Tiana. Good on beam. Not as high as Hesley. That's why I think Hesley wins out over the both of them because she's higher on beam and she contributes very good on bars. But Jocelyn's maybe in the mix. But basically, that's why these are my picks for the team. I really think it's going to end up being a battle of the beam tonight. If Joss, Tiana, if Leanne upgrades, who knows, or Hesley, whoever's got the highest beam score and has a decent bars, but really it's the beam, I think that's going to be what ends up being the winner and the one who gets chosen for that 5th spot. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed my little video blog about my predictions and thoughts, and I will post afterwards what the results were.